Alright guys, welcome back. This is where we left off. We had a boss that could randomly move and select different places on the map. We've got these spheres that show us where they can go. We're going to get started with adding other actions to the game. Now that you've got this part working, adding new actions is actually fairly straightforward. Let's go ahead and add an action really quick. Let's do a simple one like look around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my actions list and I'm going to add a new action for my boss to do, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say look around. So now my boss has two options: move to one of the random locations, and then this is just going to be a random like look to the left and right to give your character or your boss a feel of it actually doing stuff. So if we come to our action complete, this is where it selects one of those actions. Select an action from my list of actions. If it is new action move, then it does this. Now let's go ahead and add that new one we just did. If new action is, and then look around. I think that's how I spelled it. It's going to be really important that you spell this exactly the same. A lot of times what I like to do is go to the top and just copy paste to make sure I got it right. Okay, to make this action work, this is really going to be up to you. Right here is where you're going to put the things that you need done. So what do I want the boss to do? Think about that. You can pack everything you want him to do into a new function if you'd like. Notice right here on this one, I fed a little bit of information into the function before I called it. The information I fed it was the location of where I want it to move to. The reason why I did that is because I could feed in different locations and make him move around the way I want to. Okay. But it would have been entirely possible for me to take this location and stick it in here and make it generate that and use it there, but maybe that's not that useful to you. Okay, so let's come down here and we'll say function look around. Let's just say boss looks around. Let me actually compare what I put over here. I should probably look this stuff up before. No, it's just look around. Let's just do look around. I'm comparing it with what I actually did on mine, so if I run into any problems, I can just go over there and look at it. So, okay, so look around. Now a good thing to do is just tell yourself what you want. The boss should not move around, but perhaps the boss should not move around, but look left and right. So that's all we're gonna do here, just this simple look around thing. I don't know, maybe I should just copy and paste what I have. Yeah, I will. Here we go. Y'all are going to see me do this in real time. I'm going to do it while you're watching. Okay, so I'm going to grab the stuff from my code over there, and I'm just going to dump it in here. Let me see. Y'all aren't going to have that yet. Y'all aren't going to have the boss talking yet. Okay, so these... Alright, here we go. Let's see. Alright, we've got a couple errors. The errors are the fact that it doesn't know what direction down right is. It doesn't know what the direction down left is, or straight, or down left, down right, and straight. Okay, so that, let's fill that in. Okay, so first off, this says create the tween. And then give us an option, either one or two. give us an option. Or not 1 or 2, 0 or 1. 0 or 1. 0 is looking to the left, and 1 is looking to the right. Okay, so then it says, I want you to go to yourself, which is the boss, change your rotation degrees to down right. Let me go figure out what my down right is. Okay, so we needed to define what down and right is. Okay, I found it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to define what these things are, what's down and right. So I'm going to come up to the top, and I'm going to put a couple of directions in here. There they are. These are the, I guess, rotation degrees for my boss. To make him look down and to the right. And that was specific to Mr. Smith, the Smith head boss, right? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at your character, check out his transform, and what we're going to be changing is this rotation degrees. So looking at, I think I can do this at the same time here. Let me do this. Hit this button, that'll pop out the information, and I'm just going to shrink it a little bit so you can see what we're doing here. So you can see those numbers there, and no, it hit it. Why do that to me? Okay, so there's my numbers. Inspector boss, this one, I think that's the one I want to move. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these angles right here for the rotation until I get where I think looking to down and right would be. So your boss would be different from mine, so that would be like 15, and to his right would probably be that direction. So maybe that right there is a good down to the right number. Hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm saying. So I only changed the X rotation to 15. Let's do 15. And the Y rotation to negative 38. So then I'll change this one to negative 38. Now, I hope you understand that this is going to be different for your boss versus my boss. So it's going to depend on where your rotation point is. I would assume that if I want him to look down left now, it's going to be basically the opposite. It's probably going to be negative 15 and negative 38. So let's see what those two numbers would be. So let's change this to negative 15. Nope. See, look, it's really important to check. So it's not that. So let me put this back at 0. How do I make him rotate to the right? Oh, okay. Okay, so it's just the other number. So it's probably still 15 and maybe positive 38. Let's see. 38 and 15. There we go. Okay, so now my character is, the angle is 15 and negative 38, and then negative 15 and 38. Is that right? Nope, nope, nope. 15, 38. There we go. So whenever it goes to look around, it'll look, you know, that's the angle that is looking to down right, and this is the angle that's looking down to the left. And I did that just by, you know, changing that. Hopefully doing this process will help you understand, and you can make up your own stuff. Okay, let's go down here. Okay, so we've got our down right, we got our down left. Notice the straight one was just 0, 0, 0, the normal spot. If your straight is different, then you would change that. Cycle, okay, y'all don't have that, so boom, got rid of that. All right, so let's think about this a little bit. If it selects option 0, that means you want to look to the right. So it's going to use the looker tween, the one we just created, and mess with a property. The property we're messing with is the rotation degrees, and we're going to use that value up at the top. You could physically type that value in this spot, but I find it more helpful to use a variable that can change. And how long do I want it to take? I want it to take 0.5 seconds. Then I want him to, first I want him to look down and to the right, and then he's going to sweep over to down and to the left. Then he's going to wait 1 second, and then he's going to straighten his view right back up. Now you got to think, after he does this, we need to then go back to action complete. Just like this one here, we waited just a little bit of time, and then we went back to action complete. The reason we want to do that is so the cycle can continue. If I leave it just like this, after it's done, my boss is just going to sit there and not do anything else. So we need something to send him back to this action complete function here. So I'm just going to wait. You don't have to add this wait at the end, but I'm going to add a 1 second wait, and then I'm going to call the same function, action complete. Now notice the line I just grabbed was from the mover guy, so it's a move tween. Over here we're not using a move tween, we're using the looker tween. So the looker tween, he wants to call a function action complete. Okay, so he either looks to the from the right to the left or the left to the right, and then he waits 1 second, and then he says, okay, I'm done, and give me something else to do. So then it jumps back up here, and it can either select between move or look around. Okay, so right here, this is the part where we want to do something. What do we want to do? We want to call this look around function. So I'm going to drop this look around function in there, and let's see if we made it without making any real mistakes. So I will go to test world, I'll hit play. We should have just given our boss another option of things to do. Let's see. He flies in. Oh, I probably left. Oh, there we go. Now it's straight. He moves over. Moves. Moves. Looks around. Goes back. Looks around again. So now our boss has more things that he can do. Not very many things, obviously, but it can look around. This could also be, golly, come on, move. There we go. All right, this, you could also do your looking around with an animation. I'm coming back here to this thing because notice when it came into the world, it was still looking that direction. I want to put it back to 0, so I'm going to do that and save. So now when my boss comes back into the world, it will be looking straight. Okay, I'm going to keep this video shorter, and I'll do another one for a different action. So at the end of this video, he looks around, moves to another spot, looks around, moves to another spot. Or just completely looks around and doesn't do anything else, because why not? That is like 7 in a row. I'm sitting here and waiting for him to move. I know he moves. There you go. Okay, there we go. Okay, see y'all in the next video.